Khan, Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakadash, Yahweh, who the word ignorantly calls God, Yahweh Shai, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus. When they give a double honor to the apostles, a great millstone has taught me this truth. When they give a peace and blessings to the eye came across the four corners of the earth who teach us truth and risk their life to do so. It's going to be a quick video. Lord, the video's edifying, only I can get some in front of this video. It's like a quick video through the spirit. I didn't have a topic, but one scripture that kept coming to mind was 1 Thessalonians 5:3. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction coming. So I wanted to kind of talk about that. And what sparked that was I was actually looking for articles. And one thing I came across is that they tried to make it seem like this new technology like Starlink and the rest of the things that go along with it and everything else that goes along that's actually going to be a part of this beast system. They try to make it seem like that is going to be what everybody needs in order for everything to go or get back on the right track, right? To get peace and safety. This, you're going to have to, in their mind, basically what they're saying to you people are making it seem like is that you're going to have to get with the system, with the new system in order to have peace and safety. And they're going to implement this system, right? It's not going to last. It's going to be destroyed. But they're going to implement this system as and peace and safety will be like the illusion, right? It'll be a part of the illusion, man. Okay? Which people are already gearing towards fully trusting in the new system, right? That's where their mind is at, right? That's what they're focused on. They're focused on technology. They're focused on AI. They're focused on, again, Starlink. They're focused on, these data centers, right? Which some people don't like it, and some people like it, right? But the American people, they love convenience, right? They love convenience, and they love being so convenient. If you can make something more convenient or make something easier, they're going to spend $1 for it, right? They're going to spend money that they don't have for it, right? And you got inflation and you got all kind of shit, right? Which is draining people's pockets, right? The brother had posted an article and it said that majority of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Okay? So they're gonna, and it's gonna keep being like that, but guess what's gonna happen even with that? Right? They're gonna say, oh well, get down with this new system, you don't have to worry about, living paycheck to paycheck, right? Because what happens is how Esau get down is that he'll create a problem, right? And then here go the solution. But the solution is always some bullshit. And the solution is always, the root of the solution is always evil, right? That's why scriptures say never trust thy enemy, for his iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Right, let's grab that real quick. Never trust thy. This is Sirach 12:10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. I want to see what this say in the GNT slugget. Here we go, man. Come on. Let's see what it's in the GNT, bro. Right quick. 12. Yep. Sirach 12:10. It says, never trust an enemy. His wickedness is as destructive as rust. Watch out and be on guard against him. Even if he acts ever so humble, he is like a metal mirror that rusts away if you don't keep it polished. See an enemy at your right hand, and the next thing you know, he'll be trying to get your own place of honor. Put him next to you, and he will overthrow you. Then you will realize the truth of my words, and be stung with regret when you remember them. Now, remember, right? This man can be nothing but an enemy. He's completely adverse to righteousness. He doesn't like righteousness. He doesn't have righteous thoughts. He doesn't understand righteousness. He don't want to understand righteousness, right? You know, that they're not designed to be righteous. They're not designed to be, you know what I'm saying, to be upright, right? So-called white man ain't designed to be upright. Look, he's running this system, and the system is in shambles. People are fucking lost, right? And people are, the more you trust in this man, the more lost you end up, right? There's no order. There's no nothing, right? Well, I should say there's no righteous order. There's no righteous order. Ain't none of that, man. Okay? There's no true judgment, you know, for these people's wickedness that's coming from the rulers of the world, so to speak. The earth has been given into the hands of the wicked, but it goes to show you that they actually prefer wickedness. They actually prefer evil. They actually prefer, especially Jake, to go off. Okay? They like it. Scripture saying in Proverbs, the 4th chapter, they don't go to sleep unless they cause something to fall, unless they cause mischief. Okay? Roughly paraphrasing the scripture. Right? So you set an enemy that's designed to be your enemy. Set a person that's designed to be your enemy next to you. You're going to be beautiful. You know? You can't hang with a snake and be confused about who bit you, man. Okay? The prophets, you know, we're out teaching. The Lord will not be one of those men. We're out teaching and preaching the truth about this man. And yet our people are still going to trust in him, and not just in him, but his system, his rulership. And believe it or not, our people make a claim, but they don't want America to be destroyed. America is prophesied to be destroyed in the Bible. They don't want this modern day Babylon to be destroyed, man. Okay? Just like in ancient Egypt, right? When they were coming out, when, you know, Jake was coming out of captivity in ancient Egypt, going into the wilderness, right? They were remembering captivity over thinking about what we was about to get, the land, right? They were reminiscing and wanted to go back in chains, so to speak. Okay? So how much more now in this modern day Egypt? Okay? Let's grab this. And I'll close the video out, man. No, listen. It's a lot. Peace and safety. Peace, safety, right here. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. Well, I started at 2. It says, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." Right? We don't know what day, but we know what to look for upon his return. Okay? It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them." Right? You're going to hear, as more of these articles come out, it's going to be designed as the solution. Right? But scripture say what? "Then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." So hell is going to be everywhere you go. Right? Because you didn't use the grace period to get right. You didn't use the grace period to change your ways. You wasn't making videos. You wasn't reading. You weren't out there on the highways and byways. You wasn't being brotherly. You know what I mean? You didn't understand, you know, when you walked past men on the highways and byways, you didn't understand the importance of the men standing together. You didn't understand the importance of the brotherhood, you know, of these small sanctuaries set up throughout the world. Right? You laughed at it. You scoffed at it. You mocked at it. Right? But when you go to Wisdom of Solomon, it says, "What would have our vaunting profited us?" What did you putting your all into this world profit you? It didn't profit you shit. It ain't gonna profit you nothing. The only thing that's gonna profit you is this truth. That's it. You know, that's the only thing that's gonna profit you, man. That's the only thing that could possibly save you in the times to come. Okay? It says you are the children of light. When you go to Hebrews 10. It says when you became illuminated. When you go into that word illuminated, it's basically when you woke up. right? When you came back to the understanding of who you are, when you received the truth, when we received the truth, we became illuminated, right? It says, ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of night nor of darkness, right? Which we're not of the world. We're not of the wickedness or the evil that this world promotes. I mean, with that, we woken up, we changed our ways. We put off the old man with his deeds and put on the new man with the traits that the elect would have. Lord willing, we be those men. That's what scripture say, put on as the elect, to give you traits to put on. Okay, let's just get that. Put on elect. Right here. Colossians 3:12, it says, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Mashiach forgave you, also, so also do ye. And that's talking about within the body. Okay? Right? But what? Bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering, right? Patience. Okay? Looking for hastening that day. Okay? Let me go up. It says, but now ye also put off, this is 8, Salakia, Colossians 3:8. It says, but now ye also put up all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed. How are we renewed? We became illuminated. That's what renewed us. We received this truth and knowledge after the image of him that created him. Okay, so when we receive this truth, this is the only thing that caused Jake to change. That's how powerful the truth is. Scripture said this thing was of men, it should come to naught. You know, we was niggas in the world too. Brothers can come from different walks of life, man. But what got us to change our ways, was becoming illuminated, understanding the truth. The Lord showed us mercy by giving us his name, you know, allowing us to remember who we are, and the land of our captivities as it's prophesied that would happen. Okay? So with that, man, loading videos edifying, low when you Akim got something from this video. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash, and tell you brothers keep pushing on to the next. Shalom.